Well, good morning. And I think last time I talked to you, I was in the middle of some deserted island. Well, I had a conversation with Elon Musk. Next thing I know, I'm on a spaceship and I'm not really sure where I am. So if you can help me get home, I would appreciate it. Sometimes I feel like I'm in space with so many things going on here at friends' homes. Sorry I missed my original scheduled chats with you. I was on vacation. And it was a great vacation. We actually, I've been vaccinated. My wife's been vaccinated. We went to Arizona and Utah. Yes, we did get on a plane. I will tell you that I was very impressed, both with the people at the airport and on the plane. They did a very good job. Airports can be a little crowded, I understand, but people wearing their masks, some of them were double masked. The plane was very good. It was full, but people did a good job. There was, of course, no food and stuff like that on the plane, but people kept their mask on and listened to the directions. But when we got to Arizona, we rented a car and we drove all around the parks, went to Grand Canyon and Zion and Bryce and Moab, Arches National Park. It was beautiful. But as I say, there is no place like home. So I was very glad to come home, even though right now it looks like I'm not home. I am. I'm actually physically in my house. It's about 5:30 in the morning. And again, I'm running a little bit behind. So I'm recording this morning so we can have it for this afternoon and additional chats. I will be doing another chat in May, regular time. I'm very much looking forward to being in person. I don't think it'll be May. I'm hopeful that June may be in person. Still will record it for those that cannot make it, but I'm just looking forward to actually seeing your face, having the opportunity to get your feedback, questions at that point in time. I've always enjoyed that. But so maybe we're coming down to the end of just me talking to myself, looking at myself, and hopefully you're hearing me okay. Um, I do want to start off by saying a very sincere thank you. Thank you for the past year as far as your patience, your tolerance. We were on this journey together as it relates to COVID. And now that we're coming out of it, yes, I was gone when we opened up our dining rooms on April 5th. And but I, of course, getting a lot of good feedback and hearing from a lot of people. But we're coming out of it now. I think our world's still going to be a little weird for a time to come as it relates to mask and just being good stewards, social distancing, things like that. But here at Friends Homes, very proud of everybody. I mean, pretty much the majority, if not all of our residents, maybe for a handful, for various reasons, are vaccinated. Uh, we had a good run at our staff getting vaccinated, and since at least past couple months, we've actually had more staff come and get vaccinated as they are getting the results and seeing how people are doing. The Johnson and Johnson one shot has been very encouraging. The most recent news has maybe took us back a little bit about Johnson Johnson, but as you know, more people are dying from being struck by lightning than some of the potential effects that are coming from that. So anyway, we're very hopeful that our staff will continue to get vaccinated. We're opening up to visitors. Yes, we're still very highly regulated in our health center. So we are being continue to be very restrictive there. We're still having to do tests. We are around the 7 or 8% positivity rate in Guilford County. So that requires us to do so much testing. So continue to be tolerant, be patient, be excited. We have sacrificed for the past year. And what I was going to tell you as it relates to dining, even opening up for visitation, I'm not saying we're a little rusty, but it's been a while. And so people are having to get back into the swing of things, kind of relearn some things. And with the dining room, it's a lot. One, welcoming you back into the dining room. As you know, we've gone to a la carte pricing, which I've heard some really good feedback. Of course, in a community of 630 residents, I also hear some constructive feedback, which is wonderful. Although sometimes I might not appear to be receptive, I love feedback because I believe feedback helps us grow, helps us evaluate, helps us learn. At the end of the day, we're still a community and we're not a community of one. So the hard part sometimes is that in a community, decisions have to be made for the whole and not necessarily for the individual. And what I guess I've gleaned over the past couple weeks, and this is true, it's always been true, communication is something we all struggle with. And I just still want to commend Donna, Missy, the leadership team, especially as it relates to dining and COVID. There's been a lot of communication, a lot of talk, a lot of opportunity. And there are people, they're like me. They have an opportunity to participate for whatever reason. Their schedule doesn't work. They really don't think it applies to them. And so they're not in the loop. And then all of a sudden changes are made and people go like my teenage daughter, wait, what? I'm like, we've been talking about this for like 6 months. What do you mean you didn't know that we were going away this weekend and you can't go to your friend's house? I always love when she says, wait, what? Like first time she's ever heard it. But with that being said, the team really did I believe, a great job talking to each other, communicating, working with various resident groups, communicating to the residents about the reopening of the dining room. We brought people in to help train our staff to help with wait service because really it's the first time they truly are being waiters. And so, but with that, until you actually do it, when the rubber hits the road, I was in a meeting yesterday and they said there's nothing like, real life experience. Well, on April 5th, that's what happened. It was real. It was real of 50 people coming into a dining room and ordering the action station. And everybody's like, what? But yeah, we had some fallout from it. We know, I think we've made some progress. I know we've made progress over the last couple of weeks as it relates to our dining program, and we'll continue to make progress. Getting really good feedback all across the board, positive and constructive. But for the most part, I'm getting good feedback as it relates to the food, the quality, the temps, things like that. One of the biggest things is the wait time. And with that, I think we have shared with you that we knew going into this, there was going to be wait time. It's not a buffet anymore. There is going to be wait time. And with wait time, will enhance, bring more quality of the product that you're getting, service aspect, but we're going to have to wait. Now, should we have to wait an hour? No, no. And we all know that. We all know that. But our team, our employees, our frontline employees, they're having to work how to manage multiple things. Our cooks are having to figure out how to task things, not just when a ticket comes in, but looking at what is being ordered so that we can be efficient. Another struggle that we have experienced is because we still kind of offer quasi ordering off the buffet line. If you come in with a group of people and some people offering a buffet, some people offering off the action station or whatever, people should be served as a group at the same time. And so how do you make people wait when you know you can go get the food and stuff? So what I would ask of you is continue to do what you're doing. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what's working, what's not working. And what we're in the process of doing now is we're taking all this feedback, positive and constructive, and we're looking and we're reevaluating. And in about a month, 5 weeks, we will continue to adjust and adapt so that we can get to that happy norm. Now, when we adjust and adapt, does that mean every individual is going to get exactly what they want? No, that just isn't how it works in a community. But we are hopeful that as we learn some things we might not have thought about or we might have missed, we can adjust. I will tell you two things that I'm hearing a lot of feedback on as it relates to our sustainability charge for the containers, as well as the delivery charge. And so with the sustainability, If you recall, and you may not recall, we discussed the fact that we were using a lot of styrofoam, and that is not good for the environment. And so we have talked about a lot of different aspects, takeout containers like plastic takeout containers and things. Anyway, after a lot of discussion internally and talking to other communities, what's worked, what hasn't worked, we have moved to this compostable container, which is better for the environment. You throw it in the trash, it breaks down. Therefore, remember, it's not a container that you put in your refrigerator. It's really to take from point A to point B, and it needs to be transferred, because when it gets in contact with liquid and or just trash or ground, it will start breaking down. That's what it's meant to do. It's not cheap. And I know you're like, I don't care. I mean, but it's not cheap. And so sometimes doing the right thing is not cheap. And so we had a lot of discussion. We know this is the right thing to do. It's kind of, well, it's not kind of, it is. The board is pushing us from a sustainability standpoint. And so we talked about, how do we cover this cost? Piece of styrofoam is 2 cents. I think the coffee cup, when you put it all together and everything else, we're talking anywhere from, I think, almost close to 50 cents when you take in the whole gamut. It's a lot of money, right? And so we talked about, do we just put it in the price? So as we showed you the new menus, the new pricing, do we just put in the price and bury it? And as we had that discussion, we said, our whole model here at Friends Homes is fee for service. And what I've learned over life, or in time, I guess, being here, is that the majority of people, they came here for that. Well, they didn't come here for that reason, but they like that. I pay for what I want. You don't sit there and just charge me a higher monthly fee for stuff that I'm not really using, right? And so that's our model. And sometimes that's good until people actually start wanting to take advantage of some of the services, and they're like, wait, I got to pay for that? It feels like you're nickel and diming me. Well, actually not. If we were nickel and diming you, we would jack up your monthly fee, and you'd just be paying every month, whether you use it or not. I believe in the way our model is set up. And so we said, no, why would we want to put that in our price? And so whether you're doing takeout or not, you're paying for it, right? Somehow, some way you're paying for it. So what we did is we pulled it out, and we worked with a third party of Morrison's to help us look at our dining, what we offer, our service, food, trying to raise our quality, all these different things. And we figured out what we need to charge in order to cover all cost for labor, service, inventory, you name it. And so that's what we got. That's the price points we have. And I've heard people say, well, I know other restaurants don't charge for takeout. And you're right. I think I've only been to 2 restaurants. I've actually seen a couple more that popped up, but for the majority point, people don't charge. But guess what? They are charging. It's in the price, whether you use it or not. It's somehow embedded because they got to cover their cost. So we decided we're going to separate it. Therefore, if you want to come and eat in the dining room and have your meal and there is no takeout, guess what? You're not paying for anything extra. But today, you know what? I want to take something home. Yeah, you're going to pay for something extra. So I know that doesn't feel good for a lot of people. There was logic in it. Doesn't mean it has to be logic that you accept. But one of the things that I hope we don't forget, as we've moved to a la carte and more choice for you, and even going to a quarterly allowance, it's giving you the opportunity to make decisions. So the takeout charge is part of your allowance. You can use it as part of your allowance, and that's a good thing. So it's not technically costing you per se. I mean, it is, it's not, but now you have choice on what you're buying. And so you're empowered. So if I'm always looking for the positive side of things, and the positive side of things, you are empowered to make your own decisions. So we're continuing to look. We really did not have a good sense of how much takeout we would be having. Obviously, when we were serving during COVID, everybody was doing takeout. So we know what that cost is. We got a good idea. But for internal, we don't know how many people are going to be taking food out of the dining room. because guess what? Technically, you weren't supposed to take food out of the dining room, but guess you can now, which is a great thing. So we're learning more as more people are doing this. We're not fully open. We still have restrictions on our capacity. So continue to be patient with us as we learn. The delivery charge, a lot of people got really used to having food delivered to them. It's a very nice convenience. And so we everybody has a reason why they should be charged for the delivery charge now. And we cannot do that because that actually is a body that has having to deliver that food and take the time to do it and everything else. And we need those bodies in the dining room serving our residents. And so we need that additional charge, excuse me, for delivery to cover that cost. So I know this doesn't hit the mark for everyone, but at the end of the day, when the dust is settled, we get better with our wait times. The food is wonderful. Service is great. Quality is great. I'm not hoping, I feel very confident that the majority of y'all are going to say, yeah, we've taken it up a notch or two. So continue to be patient. You've always patient with the staff. I thank you for that, but continue to give us feedback because that's how we learn. So thank you. Thank you for being at Friends Homes. Thank you for going through this process with us. I know on the other side of it, we will come out stronger. Let's see. I talked a little bit about COVID. We're still having to do some things in our healthcare as relates to check-in. So I will ask you if you have friends or family in the health center, please don't just arbitrarily go to the health center thinking because now, in independent living, someone can come see you. We still have to go through a process. We're still regulated. We have to check people in. They have to be screened. And it doesn't matter if you were screened over independent living. They don't know that over in the health center. So there's still a process. So if you have family or friends that are visiting people that you know in the health center, please tell them to be respectful of the process because the state, when they're doing their surveys, they're citing communities like ours that are not checking people in, going through the proper process. There's fines. I mean, high dollar fines. So please help us with that because there are two different regulated entities between our independent living and our health center. So please continue to help us with that. Let's talk about construction. Construction is going well. I'm so excited because I really think we're probably 2 months away from seeing some type of vertical. And maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. They're saying that at the West Campus, they're saying that the blasting should be about another 2 or 3 weeks. So hopefully finishing up early to mid-May. And then the grading work over at the farm should be hopefully sometime in June done. And then they'll start working on footings, laying a foundation. They'll start working on the townhomes and cottages over at West, and then they'll be making their way around toward the pond. And then they'll eventually start working on the villa apartment buildings. If you had not had a chance to see the bridge, they putting the pylons in that's going to support the bridge. So that's exciting. That bridge hopefully will be completed sometime around, the fall, September, October, but you really can see it coming together. If you go and look at the bridge and you want to drive, do not go down Ridgecrest. Oh my goodness, that road is tore up. These heavy trucks have done so much damage to Ridgecrest Road. The city has been coming in, trying to do quick patch, but there's not enough time for it to really set. Trucks come back in, they tear it up. So we're working with the city now. We know that Ridgecrest is going to be repaved once the project is done, but getting to that point is going to be quite interesting. Even in Woodbrook, we're seeing some issues with some ruts and some pavement issues. But over at the Guilford campus, the townhomes, they're all under roof for the most part. We have sold 18 of those 20 units. There's still 2 out there. So if you have any friends It's nothing like choosing your friends to be your neighbors. So if you have any friends that you know might be interested, please turn them over to marketing. Let marketing reach out to them. But we still have 2 townhomes there. We're still hopeful that we'll see some new residents moving in on this side of the Guilford campus, the side closest to Woolman and Fox and Fry, hopefully around the August, September timeframe. On the other side of Ridgecrest, probably looking at September, October timeframe. And then the last 4 units that's over there by where Dottie Clark lives, which is really looks like 2 units, but they're 4 homes. That should be, hopefully they're moving in October, November. So very excited. Can't wait to get the landscaping in. If you're a Guilford resident, we're so glad to have our parking lot back. So much for a 4-week turnaround. And that's why I'm always hesitant to give dates because things happen, rain happens, construction issues happen. One of the things I will tell you as a side note, there are different people that like information in different ways. Some people just don't come to me until you know the facts, 100% of the facts. Other people said, keep me in the loop the whole time, which can feel like a roller coaster ride, right? I'm kind of in between, but I'm more about sharing as I know because I believe information can be powerful. But it does create emotional because if someone tells me, yeah, we think something's going to be done by this date, and that's what I'm going to say, I haven't really learned how to hedge my bets by expanding what I'm hearing. Probably need to do a better job with that. But when I hear something, for the most part, I'm going to tell you because this is your home, this is your community. And so, with that being said, uh, for the Guilford campus residents, the parking lot outside of Fox is going to be repaved sometime in the next 3 months, most likely 3 months. And when it gets repaved, it's also going to get restriped and everything else. So we are not totally out of the woods yet as far as having the inconvenience of our parking lot being impacted. I don't know how long that project will last. It will be probably several weeks, but I'll let you know more as I know more. But that paving project has not been completed yet. They are telling us they feel that the Ridgecrest entrance hopefully might come open around July when the new residents are moving in. So that will be the new one coming in. And we are again closing off the entrance as you're coming down Arcadia, that first entrance beside the Arcadia, the marketing house and Claire's house, that will be closed off. And our main entrance will be off of Ridgecrest. And that will take place sometime in probably July. So more to come as we know more. Back on the west side, wellness center. If you hadn't had a chance, we're going vertical. The walls are going up. A lot of cement has been poured. It's getting very exciting. Residents, I know y'all love watching. I tell the general contractor, we've got a lot of other contractors out there. Keep an eye on you, your guys and your girls, the ladies doing the work. But we're still looking at the end of November, 1st of December. So very excited about that. One of the things that's being kicked around that we need to at some point talk to you about, the residents at West, is the initial thought was that we would not start the main dining room renovation until after the wellness project is done, which again be November, December. But they have come back to us and asked, they said, the residents under a lot of construction, there's a chance we might be able to start the dining room a couple months early. So we can actually kind of start it at the same time, which would be an inconvenience, just to be, as you would know, to be transparent. But they were saying, what would be y'all's understanding or not understanding? What would be your thoughts? Would you be open to this? And we're always open to have a discussion. And we said we would definitely want to talk to the residents, get their feedback. But if it means overall that the project gets done sooner, so we can kind of return to some sense of normalcy, we definitely want to put it out there to talk about it. So we're looking to see really how feasible that is, starting the dining room project a couple months and maybe August, September, October. Understanding the wellness center won't be open to November, December. So there's a lot of factors. So we're having a discussion now about it. I'll let you know as we know more to get your feedback. But I want to put it out there. But anyway, the project's still moving forward. Very excited. We still have some villa apartments that are available on the West Campus. So again, as I said for the Guilford, if you know of friends, loved ones that would like to call Friends Homes their home, and if you have a relationship with them, and again, nothing like picking your own neighbors, please let the marketing know so they can tell them about all the wonderful attributes of being a resident here at Friends Homes. I want to talk to you a little bit about wellness. If you have not heard, Dorian Edwards, who's our department head over life enrichment, he's recently become an administrator. As you know, Dorian has been with us for some time now, over 10 years, and he went back to get his administrator license, and he passed. He's an administrator, but he's not functioning as an administrator. Well, Dorian was seeked out and was offered an opportunity to be an administrator at a community in Winston-Salem. And after a lot of interviews and prayer and talks, he has decided to take that job, that opportunity. And so Dorian is going to be transitioning away from Friends Homes. I think his last day is May 7th. And, it's mixed emotions for us here at Friends, because Dorian is a strong part of our community. We're very proud of Dorian. We believe he brings a lot to the community, and so he's going to be missed. However, we also know that the world is a better place because of Dorian. And so for him to be able to go to another community and to share his gifts and talents in a different capacity, especially in the health center, the world's a better place. So we wish him all the best. We now have to back up a little bit, and we have to plan and think, how do we handle this? So we have been talking internally about the vacancy in Dorian's role. We have talked to Teresa Cox, our wellness director, and after having discussions with Teresa and internally with the team and leadership team, Teresa is going to be taking over, continue doing wellness, but we're going to combine the wellness and life enrichment, which is your activities. So Amy at West and Wanda at Guilford, we're going to combine them into one department, because really holistically, activities, wellness, they really fit in together. And then we are going to reinvest. Being a nonprofit has so many positive attributes. One of those things is we don't have shareholders. We don't have to pay profits and all these other things. We don't have that pressure. So we really, any money we have, we reinvest back into the community to your benefit. So what we are talking about now is with Teresa taking over the responsibility for Amy and Wanda and activities, as well as wellness, and looking at getting support for Teresa down the road for another wellness assistant, that we're going to take and reinvest what we were paying Dorian back into the activity program here at West and Guilford. So we're going to use those monies to help promote our lifelong learning that we've been talking about for several years, continue to bring in more speakers, educational opportunities, excursions, things like that. So that's the road we're kind of going down now as we're contemplating coming out of COVID, reopening our doors, reinvesting in our programming, our wellness programming, our activity programs. So we're very excited to see where this will take us, and very excited to have these resources to take us to the next level. So very excited about that. More to come. Between Donna and Missy, their weekly updates, more to come on that in the near future. I want to talk about concierge. Charlie continues to do very well. She's our new concierge. And so that role is the person that you want to call. I know we always go to Rose, or if you're in Guilford, it was Sheila, then it was Charlie, and now it's Christopher, I believe, on temporary. I think he's there just temporarily, but Charlie is the go-to person if you have a work order for things like that. You want to call her. She's the conduit. So she's the one that's going to have the relationship with the EVS, the maintenance. When we eventually open up our guest rooms again, the guest rooms, transportation, She is the voice that will be communicating with you, taking your work orders, your requests, and then help keeping you in the loop of where they are and how they're going. So yeah, I know it's hard to change how we do things. And so, like I said, I pick on Rose. Everybody goes to Rose. But if we can start calling Charlie, because Rose turns around and just talks to Charlie. So we can start going to Charlie and getting used to calling her. That will be very helpful as she gets into her new role. She's responsible for handling all this stuff, and she's been doing that for 3 weeks now, maybe a month. And so slowly but surely we're getting there. So, but she's doing very well. So remember, we have a concierge position, and this person might not have all the answers, but they are a go-to person to help direct. So please kind of get used to calling her, reaching out to her, so she can advocate for you, or at least put you in the right direction if you have a question or work order or need like that. So again, signage, I've mentioned this before, but I want to tell you, we are getting new signs at West. We're getting a new sign at Guilford. We're getting a new sign off of New Garden, Arcadia, as well as off of Ridgecrest. We just finally got the permit from the city. So those are going in production. So probably in the next 2 months, month and a half, you'll see us having new signs. These signs are going to be a little bit, well, at Guilford, they'll be a little bit bigger. It's going to have our logo so we can have some consistency between our West and Guilford campus. So that will be coming. Just want to make you aware of that when you see some people working around there. The other thing I'll share with you is lights. This impacts Guilford more than West. As you see, we're going to be putting up new light poles with the new construction. And so at the Guilford campus, we have light poles that haven't been working for a while, or they're in the middle of a tree. And so we're going to be moving those lights, replacing those lights so that they actually light up the parking lot and the campus. That will be taking place over the next six months. But same thing at the West Campus. As once the project's completed, we're going to go back, reevaluate our poles, and make sure that we have good lighting for security, safety reasons. So that is in the plans to be taken care of. The last thing I think before I wrap up is I just want to tell you we I'm sorry, two things before I get to budget. One of the things that we are looking at, we're contemplating, is over on the North Track, and that's where the bridge is being built. So, we're working with the city of Greensboro to help build a connector path to the Bicentennial Greenway. That's about a 2-year project. But another thing we have been contemplating, and I think we have some resident support for this, is a quote unquote community garden for friends' homes, or in the true sense of community, maybe even for our neighbors. And so we're talking about utilizing the North Track over there where the bridge is to really develop a community garden, a nice community garden. And so we have some residents that are doing some legwork right now that have knowledge of this. And we're talking about maybe talking to the city about whether it's grants or whatever the case may be. We're still 2 years away. But the reason I share that with you is it's exciting to think about where we're moving toward, the things we're putting in place to continue to develop that sense of what makes Friends Home special. It's a community, and how we share our gifts, how we share our time, our fellowship. So I'm excited that we're looking at this. We've been talking to the general contractor about helping us parking, water, like do we need to dig a well, all these different things. So working on plans, more to come. I know a lot of times I get pushback to saying, why are you talking about something that's a year and a half or 2 years from now? The reason why is because I want you to be part of the process. I want to hear your voice. I want to know your thoughts. And on occasion, I hear some of you saying, I won't even be here when that happens. Well, first of all, I hope you are. But second of all, you're here. You are family. You are part of the community. And you don't want me making all the decisions. We come out better as a diverse group when you have a lot of input and you have people's opinions. So as you're pulling those decisions together, you're using input and thoughts and comments and feedback. So if you have an opinion, state your opinion, because believe me, we are listening. We are listening. Just sometimes it takes a while to actually get things to actually happen as part of the process. The more people that are involved, the longer usually things take. But as I wrap up, I want to talk to you a little bit about budget. I can't believe it, we're getting ready to work on our budget for fiscal year 2022, which starts October 1st of this year. That process starts now. Management wraps up around, say, July, August, and then we meet with the board in September. They approve it, goes into effect in October. This is your opportunity, and I've afforded this opportunity for the last 3 or 4 years. If you know or have concerns about areas we need to think about, work on, focus on, whether it's a capital issue, a staffing issue, a service issue, support, this is your time. This is your time. So there's committees. Each campus has a multitude of committees. So whether it's activities, dining, facilities, building, grounds, go to the committees, communicate with those committees. It rolls up. They share it with management. They share it with the resident board, resident council, comes to us. We incorporate that information into what we're doing. So you have a voice, use your voice, and hope that you give us feedback and think about it, because at the end of the day, we are here to support and to serve you, our residents, our greatest assets. So as I conclude, yes, I will be doing this again in probably 2 weeks. Not sure what I'll talk about, but as usual, I'll talk. But I want to say thank you. Thank you for being residents at Friends Homes. Thank you for being contributors at Friends Homes with both your time, talent, and treasure. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your love and your grace. So I will hopefully be back on earth here very soon. And I wish you all the best. God bless you. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.